Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to more Link to the Past. Today, we're doing the Eastern Palace, our first real dungeon. We can come over here, grab some rupees, I guess. But the way forward is right through here. All right. Moving on. In this room, we're going to have to watch out for these giant balls. And every once in a while, there'll be a big one like that that you want to avoid. Woo! Alright. I call this the dodgeball room. There's another dodgeball room in this dungeon later on. But this is the first of the two. Here we can get a ton of money, and we're just going to move on. As I said last time, we're going to do the entire dungeon today, so this may run a little longer. It may not. We're going to head right first. This is entirely optional because this is just to get the dungeon map, which is... Yeah. Stop being so bouncy. Which is entirely optional in this game. It's not really too necessary, and I don't know why I'm killing these guys, but whatever. Okay. Over here, you want to get this middle one, which is the switch. You can get the other ones too. They might have hearts and stuff like that, but I don't want to deal with the anti-fairy. This is the map. We've talked about this before. It just shows you the rooms. And I've mentioned this in other Zelda playthroughs and actually in my original run of this game. The dungeon map in this particular entry is not... It's not necessary. I guess some of the later dungeons are more complicated, but the map, it shows you stuff, like where stuff is in terms of like room layout, but it doesn't really offer anything super important. And like these small early level dungeons, I don't know how necessary the dungeon map is, but there you go. Now these guys, these Stalfos, as you've noticed, they do tend to jump around if you swing your sword, but if you hit them with the boomerang, they don't. Now here, we have to kill all of them, and I find it easier to just use the pots, because the sword swing, oops, missed. The sword, hey, you stop that. The sword swing, they do that, and then the boomerang doesn't do a lot of damage, but the pots kill them in one hit, so that's kind of nice. Here's the compass. Again, the compass doesn't do much for you in this particular game. Here we have where the boss is. Boss is on the second floor. That's it. You know, in future Zelda games, the compass tells you where like treasure chests are hidden and stuff like that. Not so much in this one. Link, it is I, Sahasrara. I can talk to you telepathically when you touch these tiles. Here is a hint. You can use the treasure hidden in this palace to defeat armored foes. So these tiles are going to pop up throughout the game, and Sahasrara will give us hints. I'm going to avoid these guys for now. These guys are called Igor. We'll take care of them later. But moving on, we just kind of want to make this big loop because we need a small key, and the small key is hidden in that room, but we got to make a big circle because we don't want to go back and get hit by the anti-fairies. So I believe one of these skeletons has the key. Might be in one of these pots. I don't... there it is. Now that I got that, I'm out of here. Nothing left for me in that room. And we'll just make our way around again. Got the small key. And we're back around in this room. And we're just basically making a huge circle. But in this next room, we're going to collect the big key. And I don't know that you have to kill every enemy in the room, but you definitely have to. I think you might. So we're gonna try not to get touched. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill all the enemies just to be safe. I want that pod to kill the Igor. Like I said, that's what this guy's called, because he opens his eye. When he opens his eye is when he's vulnerable. So I guess, yes, you have to kill every enemy in the room. I'm going to wait for the Stalfos to come back around. Okay, he's not cooperating, so there you go. When you do that, all the anti-fairies will start running around, press the switch, get the big key. Yeah, anti-fairies at this point are pretty nasty. Not only do they drain your magic, but they take a whole heart, and these guys are getting... Come on, guys. Do something else. I guess I'm just going to take a hit here. Whatever. Anyway, we're back in this room. And I guess at this point, it would be a good time to show... I think if you fall in these pots, you go to a fairy fountain, which we might as well do, and show off the bug catching net. Keep it in a bottle. Go ahead and have that for us in case we die. And I want to kill the Igors as well as the Stalfos. Now these green Igors are pretty easy. You can kill them with your sword. You can kill them with a pot. We're going to encounter some later on that you can only kill with arrows from the bow that we're about to get. Because that is indeed the treasure of this particular dungeon. You found the bow. You can shoot arrows until you run out. We got to get out of here because these skeletons are going to throw their heads at us. And I don't think you can kill them. Try to kill as many of these guys as you can, because I just woke up that Igor. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, the one on the right has a key, which what we want. I'm going to go ahead and light up the room, because it's just easier that way. I'm going to show you how easy it is with the arrow. Just like that. Pretty cool. Arrows are good. Bow and arrow, good item. Good item. And this next room is just a bunch of money. Oh my god, dude. Anti-fairies are like a pain in the backside. But if you sprinkle magic dust on them, which we don't have at the moment, if you sprinkle magic dust on them, you can turn them into normal fairies. Which is kind of neat. I think this one is the bottom left. Gosh. I cannot believe I'm going to die in this first dungeon. Alright. Here we have 3 Igors. We're going to do the old bada bing, bada boom. Kill this guy with a pot. Kill this guy with an arrow. I really could use some hearts here. Wait. Ah, there you go. Thank you very much. This next one is the dodgeball room I told you about. The top left one is our target. Here is the red Igor. Like I said earlier, this guy is more dangerous because he cannot be killed with pots. You have to hit him with the arrow, and I think it takes 2 arrows. Indeed. All right, collect more hearts here. We're fine. Everything is fine. Should have charged up my sword for that, but that's okay. Alright, I don't want to waste those pots in case I take damage. So we're going to go ahead and... Unfortunately, you have to wake both of these guys up. Really? At the same time? It's easier if you take them on one by one, but obviously you can't do that here. And this actually took a lot less time than I thought it would. We're about to fight our first boss, the Armos statues here, Armos Knights. And the trick with these guys is they're going to go around in a circle thusly, and then they're going to line up and charge at you. I like to spread the damage out evenly because at the end you're only going to be stuck with only one enemy, and whichever enemy that is, if you spread the damage out throughout instead of just focusing on one, he'll be easier to kill at the end. And you can also damage these guys with your sword, which I am not really demonstrating very well. But these guys are really not hard. I'm just being kind of sloppy. Alright, one more. Really, man? There we go. That really shouldn't have been that difficult. I must have not hit that guy at all. But anyway, after that, we get ourselves our first pendant. I think this is the Pendant of Courage. I don't remember. Yes, indeed. You won the Pendant of Courage. Take it to Sahasrara. 2 pendants remain. Alright. That was good. Wish I had done that a little bit smoother. But it is what it is. We're headed over back to his secret hideout. And tell him the good news. Hello. Oh, you got the Pendant of Courage. Now I will tell you more of the legend. 3 or 4 generations ago, an order of knights protected the royalty of the Hylia. These knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pendant of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the Great War against evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. Among the descendants of the Knights of Hyrule, a hero must appear. I see. Link, I believe you should get the remaining pendants. And carry this with you. This is a treasure passed down by the families of the wise men. I want you to have it. And we get the Pegasus shoes. Now you can execute a devastating dash attack. Hold the A button for a short time. A helpful item is hidden in the cave on the east side of Lake Hylia. Get it. Okay. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to call it right here. In the next episode, we are going to do an item collecting session. You can see the second pendant is located in the bottom left of the map in the desert. The third pendant is located in the north in the mountains. And the Master Sword is somewhere in the Lost Woods. But before we can do any of that, before we do any of that, we're going to get stronger. We're going to go around, collect some optional items. But like I said, I'm going to be collecting all the items in this game. So technically, none of them are optional for me. Haha. Anyways, thank you for joining me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next episode.